Okay. I'm Laurie Phipps. I'm sitting here with Dina, who's the project manager for the Location Independent Working project at Coventry University. Dina, what is Location Independent Working?
Hi. Location independent working is a formal scheme of flexible working. It's about being independent of location, so being able to work from wherever you are, whenever you are, and it is about, from a management perspective, it's about managing by objectives and productivity and not about managing by presenteeism.
And why did Coventry University decide, first of all, to apply for a project to do Location Independent Working, and what did it hope to achieve?
Okay, we applied to do a project on location independent working for a number of reasons. Firstly, we had already trialled a similar type of scheme in Coventry University Enterprises, which is the business part of our university, and it had worked very successfully, and we introduced it over a number of years. We were now interested in looking at it in a higher education setting and seeing whether it can produce some equally strong benefits for our staff within the higher education side of it, the university part of the organisation. What did we hope to achieve? There were a lot of things that we hoped to achieve. Sustainability and green credentials were one of them, so reduced travel, reduced carbon footprints. From an individual, so from a staff perspective, we hoped that it would reduce stress and absenteeism. We hoped that it would improve the teaching experience, enhance the teaching experience for our staff where they are academics, and give people more control of their lives. From a management perspective, we wanted to see increased productivity, more connectivity in terms of people being available, and again, innovation, I think, is one of the things we wanted to see.
Those are the aspirations of the project.
Yes.
And these are the things that we wanted from our staff, from managers and those sorts of things. On a pragmatic, practical level, delivering the project, what sort of technology did you have to employ to make that happen?
Well, we went through a series of consultations in order to get a consensus on what the technology ought to be. And so remember that our project was for both academic staff and non-academic staff. So we needed to introduce a technological package that would be able to facilitate whoever, both non-academic and academic staff, to be able to do their job effectively from wherever they are. So we had a series of things. One of them was connectivity, and in that we gave people an option, 3 choices: either a dongle, which is a mobile USB stick, or using their own broadband, or us installing broadband, the university installing broadband in their homes. Now, interestingly enough, the most popular choice was for people to use their own broadband. It's not what we thought would happen, but it is what happened in reality. That's the connectivity. Then we had very good spec laptops, a standard laptop that was given to everybody, wireless printers, which were colour photocopier, printer and fax, for each of the people, and a smartphone which enables people to look at their emails and access to the internet, etc., from wherever they are. So in terms of being connected wherever you are, we gave them a package that enabled them to do that. We also introduced webcams and headsets, which enabled particularly the academics to use different technologies for their teaching.
Did you see an improvement in their quality of teaching or enhancements to the way that they taught?
Very much so, yes. People opted to use new techniques to a greater or lesser extent. Those that opted to use it to a greater extent found that they were utilising it to attend meetings that perhaps they couldn't otherwise attend. They were looking at redesigning their courses to suit their students more effectively. One example of that would be one particular member of staff had a course that was predominantly attended by international students. Those international students wanted to be able to attend all of the courses, but they also wanted to get the cheap flights. And so what we found was that they would be late comers into the term, and they would with the traditional teaching methods, and they would have left early. So they would have missed the first few and the last few lectures of the course. So we redesigned the course using instructional design techniques so that these students could access the materials and be part of that those lectures, regardless of where they were.
Thanks. Very few universities have actually adopted a formal location independent working scheme at the moment, and I know that you're already speaking to some universities in the sector about how they can take this forward. For those people that haven't adopted one or are thinking about adopting one, we spoke about aspirations at the beginning. What have you realised in terms of benefits of this scheme?
We have actually realised a lot of benefits, and some expected, some unexpected. I think one of the biggest things that I would say is that everybody, bar one person, has opted to stay on the project. So we gave them a 3-month trial period, and we locked their offices during that period, so they didn't have access to that. So they really had to live as if they were, working location independent without an office. And at the end of that 3-month trial, they had to choose whether they wanted to continue on the scheme or whether they wanted to go back to their original setup. And the overwhelming majority, that is 35 out of the 36, chose to stay on the scheme.
So that's actually freed up some space.
It's freed up some space, you've got greater enthusiasm. You talk to the participants on the scheme, they really like it. It's been life-changing for them. It's meant that they have a better balance, they're more productive, they like their jobs. We've been able to retain staff more, and we've also been able to attract more staff that otherwise we wouldn't have got. The green credentials, again, we've noted that there are fewer journeys, there's less pressure on sort of car parking, etc., which is an additional benefit. And I think the managers who manage these people have also noted the kind of reductions in stress, the increase in enthusiasm, and the innovation that's increased as well.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Dina.
Thank you.